Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. I have a very special guest here with me, Matty. Welcome, Matty.
Hey, I'm very excited. Right here on the cusp of KubeCon.
Yeah, I feel like I should have had a longer intro. So this live stream is on KubeCon. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Anais, and I usually make videos on Kubernetes. And I thought, since this is going to be my first in-person KubeCon, and probably for a lot of people, first in-person, first virtual KubeCon, it would be cool to have Matty here to ask a few questions. Matty, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely.
Who are you?
Yes, who am I? My name is Matty Stratton. Right now, I am a staff developer advocate at Pulumi. We do infrastructure as code and stuff, which is awesome for Kubernetes and lots of other things. And I've been part of the DevOps community for a long time. This is my second in-person KubeCon. So I was at KubeCon North America in the fall, which surprised a lot of people. It was funny when people were like, this is your first time you were at KubeCon. I'm like, it really is. So I am not a super duper in-person expert, but
Getting there.
I have never let my lack of experience get in the way of me offering my opinion about things. So
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And it'll be good. We'll just sort of, and I am very, very excited. We were talking before about like international travel. This is my first time of leaving the country since January of 2020 again. So it's all the stuff you've forgotten how to do, right?
You have all your documents? Everything is ready?
Yeah, I think so. Well, there's more of them now too, but I have like 6 COVID tests in my bag because you need to take one to return back to the US and all this stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I was confused with the different documents that you need right now. And I'm not traveling that far. Awesome. Which one was your first KubeCon? Your first virtual KubeCon?
First virtual one was last year. EU, KubeCon EU. So nice. Just because I've been when I've been into Kubernetes, I was not in a role that let me do a lot of conference stuff. Like I used to do a lot of conference stuff, I kind of took some time when I was working at Red Hat and that's actually when I was doing more Kubernetes stuff with OpenShift, but that wasn't as much of a community and conference kind of role. So I missed a bunch of those. And then when I was at PagerDuty didn't really, Kubernetes was not like the biggest thing in the world for me. So yeah, it's, but I'm very excited. Actually, one of the things I'll be talking about in my talk that's at KubeCon on Friday, which we're going to talk about in a second, about how you're going to have to pick between me and Anais. But I do talk about my origin story. That's a little bit about like how so I'll give you, don't want to give too many.
Give us the brief overview. What does it talk about?
Okay, so it's
why should I watch that talk?
Yes. Okay. So Whitney Lee from VMware and I are giving a talk together, and it's called "Charting Your Own Course Through the Cloud Native Landscape." And really, it's not about learning Kubernetes, but it's about how to create a plan, right? And whether it's Kubernetes or other things, but because kind of the way we look at it is the landscape is very overwhelming, right? And just even Kubernetes itself, much less the whole landscape and all the pieces. And if you're trying to learn, it can seem really intimidating, and you'll see a lot of just do Kelsey's Kubernetes the hard way, which is great, but that's not
I've never done that. I've never it.
Yeah, and so the talk is sort of to go through to how do you figure out how you like to learn, how do you approach learning, and then how can you apply that to learning things in the cloud native space. And we've got a couple of little fun little bits in there.
Awesome. Well, we're going to get
to your talk that's happening at the same time as mine. So we
figured out that our talks are at the same time, and you obviously are supposed to attend my talk, and you can watch the recording of Matty's. Let's say hi to some folks who are joining. Hi, Rania. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, you just have to subscribe to my channel, and then you can in the chat.
So I'm laughing. I just saw Cal. I saw in the chat. Sorry, because I only just found out how to look at the chat, because I'm really technical.
You meant it?
Yeah, it says, well, I was sitting on the private chat, but Catalyst says that Matty looks like Dr. Hulk. So the celebrity doppelganger I get is Mark Ruffalo, which I will take because Mark Ruffalo is a good looking guy. So yeah.
I can see. I thought that was a brilliant comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know if that's. I think that StreamYard miss showing it. Thank you for. Thank you for
trying to like do the
yeah, the emojis. Awesome. Yeah. So this is going to be my first in-person KubeCon, and I haven't looked at the schedule yet or anything. And I feel like I'm so behind, and I feel very unprepared. I feel like there's something that I really, really missed, probably.
Well, so like I think we talked about. I think we should go and like just let's build your schedule, right? I did a stream. I was telling Anais like about a month, like 4 or 5 weeks ago on my channel. I had Paris Pittman come on, and we did this, but the other way around, where we built my schedule with Paris's 2 cents. So, and I'll have to remember. And again, it's very hard. I will tell you, there's so much good stuff at this KubeCon. It is real hard to pick.
Does that? Here we go. Okay. So, can you see it?
You might want to make it a little bigger.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, that looks good. I think that's.
I was looking for my talk here to see when I am.
We're on Friday. We're on Friday.
Okay, at the same
so
time.
The other thing is,
we're supposed to be on stage in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So a couple of the things, just thinking through, is so the conference doesn't really start till Wednesday, like officially.
What are you going to do until Wednesday?
But there's plenty of stuff. Yeah. So KubeCon and Cloud Native Con, because we're supposed to say it that way all the time, but nobody does.
KubeCon, Cloud Native Con. Okay.
Yeah. That starts on Wednesday, but there's these pre-events. So like, and a lot of these you need to have like pre-registered for and stuff like that. So, but so I'm not really doing any of these things because I didn't sign up for any of them. But I also know there's a lot of cool stuff.
So I'm actually giving a workshop.
Oh, cool.
Getting started with full lifecycle security at SecurityCon. When I find it here, I will show you. Maybe here, Cloud Native SecurityCon.
Okay, awesome.
I'm on the second day.
You're on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can.
And I think the Contributor Summit is also one of these days.
Also for the people who are attending in virtual, there's some of them are virtual focused. For example, Operator Day I know is for free and virtual.
Oh, sweet.
So if you if people want to see one of the pre-located events, there are some that are actually for free and virtual as well, because some of them are only in person, right? And then you can watch the recording, I think. Okay, let's move on to the actual KubeCon.
Right. So well, I'll tell you in case anybody's curious. So like Tuesday, I'm going to be setting up our booth. So although that really takes all of about 45 minutes, but and I'm going to do just a little plug. If you're looking for something to do on Tuesday, that's not listed on the schedule, but so Pulumi, we are doing a kind of our return to in-person workshop. So we're doing an in-person Pulumi workshop on Tuesday, and I will find the link for I don't think you'll see it on the schedule. It's just what we're doing, but I'll find the link for it, and Anais, I'll drop it to you, and you can paste in because I don't think I can type in the chat.
Just want to say lots of amazing people joined. Thank you. Yeah, virtual and free. There's some really amazing virtual free courses, content. Send me the link. Maybe I can tweet it. That's something that I mentioned to you last time. I have never tried Pulumi, so I think I should go to that workshop.
Oh, well, actually, what we need to do, though, Anais, is we'll talk offline. I need to get you on Pulumi Vision on our stream, and we'll do some of that stuff for sure.
Get me started with Pulumi.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about that, and I'm going to be completely lost.
Wait, where did this? Okay, here we go. All right, I'm just going to drop this in the private chat.
And then I can post it. Should I post it in the normal chat?
You can put it in the chat. Yes, Alistair, I will do everything I can to come to DevOpsDays Birmingham next year.
Yeah, your colleagues came.
I know. Well, that's partially why I couldn't go, because only so many of us can go. And it was also the same time as Pulumi Up is our thing. So somebody had to be doing DevRel for the actual Pulumi event.
That makes sense.
So, Okay. There's lightning talks are also on Tuesday, I think, right?
Why are they? That's something I didn't understand. How does that work?
I think they're just in the evening. I think there's just a.
Are they
I
from
know I saw
sponsors?
Chris Short in the chat, and I know Chris is a KubeCon vet,
Hi,
and
Chris.
he might be able to. Chris, if you can give
If you're
some
still
input.
here.
What's that?
If Chris is still here, tell
Yeah,
us
if
what
he
you're
didn't
like.
drop out and was just like, oh, I just like came and said hi. Okay, well let's go back to Wednesday. We'll come back to the
Wednesday.
okay.
I saw there's a community run. Are we gonna attend that?
Nope.
No.
Oh
At
yeah,
6
you're
in
back
the
to
morning?
back in the evening
We
that
don't
first
feel
week.
like it.
Well, I will tell you this. I actually, so as I said, as soon as we're done with this stream, I'm jumping in a lift to go to the airport to fly out. So I've already packed, and I did not pack running clothes. I can assure you. So that I will not be doing the fun run.
You're gonna miss out. We're gonna have so much fun. At
I
6
will
a.m.
come and cheer you all on. How about that? We'll got that. Well, you're gonna add it to your schedule.
Oh,
I don't understand why there's two of them.
Do I add both? Are they in different locations?
Oh, maybe.
I will figure it out. I will just attend.
Add them both. It looks like you have to sign up for it, but you can do that later. Okay.
I can do that later.
So
Okay.
most of these early ones, I mean, you can add them to your schedule. The keynotes that's the only thing that's happening. You don't have to really make a decision.
Tap them all, right?
Yes, that it reminds you to be there. That's why I added all of the keynotes, and a lot of, so I really I love the like virtual, like the project office hours are really helpful. These are sort of scattered throughout because like when you're, if you've got questions or you want to talk to the Chris said there's additional I don't know if he's talking about the lightning talks or he's talking about the fun run.
Chris, are you at the fun run?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be at the fun run?
Yeah.
I could live
fun and run or not, I mean,
Fun
that's
run,
like what it used to be me. I believe it or not, when I was half the man I am today, I ran cross country in high school, but that was
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I never do anything related to cardio. It's
Yeah.
but I might try this.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, this is a run/walk. So you know what? I don't know. Maybe I'll do for the walk part. I've got, I don't have gym clothes, but I got shorts. I got Allbirds I can wear. I can go for
How are they called again? They're like sweet sticks that you dip into hot chocolate. Oh, how are they called? I forgot the name right now. They're famous in Spain, and you have to eat them.
If that's part of the fun run, I'm super in for that.
We can make it part of the fun run.
See, now we're.
How are they called? I forgot. But that's something you have to eat. That's something you eat in the morning. It's like kind of fried dough sticks, and you dipped it into hot chocolate. Churros, yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm.
Oh my goodness! So
yes.
I must have registered two different ways in KubeCon because now I'm logged in looking at my schedule, and this is the wait. Okay, I don't know.
It's very confusing because when I go to my profile, it says register to attend, but I'm registered.
Yes, I had the same weird thing because the schedule thing is what screws me up because you're in there as a speaker and then somehow you're also like,
it's very confusing. And then when I go to speakers, I don't see myself. So when I looked at it this morning after like several weeks, I got a little bit of a heart attack. I was like, oh my God. I wonder how Aqua would react if I'm not registered.
We'll be fine. Well, at least the good thing is if they decided to get rid of your talk, then people don't have to make a decision about going to see mine or yours.
Oh, it's actually a co-speaking talk. So even if I'm going to be sick in bed with COVID or something, hope not.
You do have a co-speaker, yeah.
It's
gonna have the same thing. I have the same thing, so
yeah, it's good.
There's my schedule. Okay.
I'm gonna go to the coffee break.
Sure, that's very important.
Okay, first decision that I really have to make.
Okay, yeah. Oh, and then I'll tell you, I pulled my schedule up too, so I can.
What are you gonna do?
Well, that's okay. So, what time are you at now? Are we at the
11? We're at 11.
Oh, I don't think I picked anything that are like maybe I don't have anything on the schedule till 14:30
What are you gonna
on
do?
Wednesday. I don't know. I guess it was nothing that I was. The other problem, what I haven't done is I actually, to be honest, I have to now go overlay my booth duty schedule to see what I can
Oh.
actually do.
That's what I thought as well, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna add everything I want to attend to, and then I just drop
And then you
out
see
of
what you that way. To me, the schedule, what
it.
I was marking was like this way. When I know I've got a spot, I remember I found something that looked interesting. Yes, hallway track is where it's at. The other thing, this is my other like little pro tip too, is like there's nothing wrong with marking more than one thing in a slot. Just like it's just sort of as a, because the thing is, if you don't, you're sort of doing this as like a triage, right? Like these are the things that stood out for me. So when it's 2:30, I'm like, what do I want to go do? Oh, here's two things that I was aware of that sounded interesting to me.
It's also like
Exactly. Alice here says build out a well thought out schedule, and then it comes and goes all out the window. Yep.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. It starts with a little bit. I feel like
so let's see. What do you have there? I think. Oh, you know what? Here's the other thing. To be honest, when I did this was like a month ago, and I don't think all the sessions were necessarily listed yet either. So it could have been that a lot of these weren't there. So I should go back and do the same thing. Yeah. Explore the schedule. Okay. So wait, let's take a look now. Back to, we are at 11 on Wednesday, right? Oh yeah, I guarantee. Yeah. Okay.
What's the difference? What's the coloring again?
Yeah, it would be nice if the key like
stays there, down. Right? If you can look at it.
Let's see.
We'll see. Well, more office hours. It's also, how far do you have to walk? I feel like, a little scooter would be.
Ooh, deep dive into Minikube. That seems interesting to me. That's at 11. That's at 11:55.
Oh.
Ooh, SIG release update, releasing Kubernetes less often. Oh, that sounds interesting. I'd love to hear about from SIG release.
Where's that?
That's also at 11:55. There it is. Yeah.
11:55.
Yeah, it was at the same time as the Minikube one.
The other one.
It's right there. Yeah, Chris is right. This is the week to challenge people on your Fitbit or your Apple Fitness because you're gonna get your steps in.
How much can you do?
Just don't challenge people who are at KubeCon. Challenge your friends back home and annoy them.
This is, I feel like I have to read also who's giving the talk.
I sort of did that a little bit when I was kind of like,
did you?
Like,
but then I actually need their Twitter accounts to pop up.
Oh, right. You're okay. Cause you don't know from
people. Spark on Kubernetes. I feel like there are things that
is true. It does seem like there will be a lot of content and a lot of cool people. This is going to be the hard thing. There's going to be so much good stuff.
That's the thing. Like when you're attending virtual, you can just sit and watch. You don't have to move.
Actually, now that hang on, let me find.
Okay. So I feel like this is taking longer than I anticipated.
Oh, it's okay. We'll see how far we get. Okay, so I'm looking now just at my particular. So it looks like.
Oh, meditation.
Oh, I'm gonna have to miss the keynotes. What the hell?
Why?
No, because that's my first booth duty is from 10:15 to 1:30. And then
you can watch them from the booth virtually.
I will. I'm absolutely gonna do that.
There was a question.
Yes.
About how will we have
afterwards. So I think you need to be registered. Like I don't think all the talks end up just free on YouTube, but I could be wrong. Again, I will I'm going to defer. Really, you need to have Chris on instead of me because Chris has been to way more.
Yeah, what am I doing here with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think they end up, because I feel like I saw some that were from EU. Yeah.
So Alistair ditched me at KubeCon. He said he's gonna come, and
And now he
decided
decided
not
he's,
to.
oh, well.
Just wanted to say that publicly.
DM me link. Chris is.
Oh, you want to join?
Yeah, bring Chris in. Why not?
Okay, how do I do that?
Yeah,
right.
Well, you can here. Do you want me to? Do I get? Is it the same StreamYard or is it a different StreamYard link?
It's the same StreamYard.
Chris,
Here,
I'll send you the link.
And then Matty will send you the link, and you can join, and you can help Matty. You can have a virtual watch party.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that for a second. Why can't?
Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, there's a different kind of watch party.
Look at
my God.
schedule.
Hang on. Google you. Let's see.
Who here in the chat is joining in person? Who is joining virtual? If you're joining.
Sorry, I'm just. So one of the things, this is slight kind of tangent, but a quick one. So what's also happening next week is DevOpsDays Ukraine. So it's a virtual event in support of Ukraine. That's all virtual, and but that is happening. It will be more like during the day, America time. So it's more evening, Wednesday and Thursday evening, Europe time. But one of the things we're going to do, so Wednesday evening is the sponsor booth crawl. So at the Pulumi booth, we're going to do a little watch party of DevOpsDays Ukraine. So we'll put the talks up on our thing. I think some other booths may do this, may not. I know that Paul Zarkowski and Sasha Rosenbaum, who are going to be, they're some of the organizers of the DevOpsDays Ukraine, are going to be there. They're going to try to set some stuff up too. But yes, absolutely. Yeah. So please, if you haven't, check that out. You can donate. That's all great stuff. Chris, I DM'd you in Twitter.
You can join now.
Yeah.
You can take it if you need to.
Yeah.
Take the phone.
Okay. So
what are there was a question. What is the eligibility to join KubeCon in person?
Well, you would have to register and go there.
That's the big hurdle.
Yeah.
I think this year, especially the going there part, has been an obstacle. It's gonna be an obstacle. There's Chris.
There he is.
Hi. How's it going?
That's
good. This is the first time I'm talking to both of you, by the way. I just wanted to mention that, on a camera.
Right, yes.
Right, yes.
Not in person, soon in person. Are you going?
Awesome. I am going. I
going.
I am flying out tomorrow, no less. My CPU might be lagging a little, but sorry.
It's okay. We can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
So I think people can hear you. Awesome.
I'm really pushing the limits of my computer today, so pardon me while I close some stuff. But so when it comes to making the schedule, right? Make your schedule in a way that you won't feel bad if you don't make the right. So everything's you've got to go to it. Or hallway track or time to just recuperate. That's the biggest thing for me, especially, is to put in breaks.
Do you know if there are going to be quiet rooms, since the venue is, I guess, at least for my hotel, it's far away.
Yeah.
So
it's a ways. So normally there is, but I imagine it's going to be pretty crowded for a quiet room. So, but you're a CNCF ambassador, aren't you, Anise, right?
Do we have a special room?
We get a special room. Yes, we actually do. So I use that routinely throughout the conference, and I'm usually the only one of the ambassadors to use it, which is also kind of weird. But yeah, like
Not
they're
this
totally
year.
cool with that.
This year you're not. It's not going to be yourself.
No, I won't be alone in there. It doesn't sound like. It sounds like a lot of people will be retreating there, and that's great, right? Like, and I don't want to be exclusionary either, right? Like, I use that place to like go throw a heating pad on, or whatever I need to do for my shoulder and back. But like a lot of people will come in there, and like I've had like full blown meetings with like Red Hat and other company staff when I worked at Red Hat the last time I was at an in-person event. So yeah, like impromptu stuff can happen. Just drag it into the ambassador lounge if you want. It's there for us.
That's good to know.
But for other folks, there probably will be some spaces available that are quiet, and the venue is huge. You will find a dark corner somewhere.
We were talking about, you were here when we were talking about scooters. It's like I was at when I was in university, I was helping out with startups at like larger trading fairs, and there were always lots of people with scooters.
Yeah, like the huge ones, like the E3s, the ones that take place in Vegas kind of thing, right? Like,
yeah, I went to CES in Vegas once, and that was extreme.
CES is huge and massive. It's a lot like AWS reInvent, where it's just like boom everywhere all over Vegas. So yeah, you totally see a lot of people on scooters when those events. Like even the smallest venue I've ever been to in like my 5 years of going to KubeCons was still huge, right? Like even like 2017, the first KubeCon I went to, it was in Austin. It was massive, like the conference center. So there's always some like weird little like mid-level place where you could see it and it's quiet, so you just go there.
Okay, that's reassuring, especially like with everything starting up again and people not, like at least I'm not too used to being surrounded by crowds, right?
I mean, I haven't gone on a trip like Matty since. Well, I mean, I went to KubeCon LA like Matty did, and then but before that, I haven't gone anywhere international since. Geez, I think like 2018. Like, it's been even like further out than that.
It was like January 2020. I was in Ireland and London, and that was it. But I will say I'm interested to see the size, because KubeCon LA, it felt like North America. It was like,
it was a
I don't know what, it was about 2,500 people. I was like, okay, it wasn't super huge. I for one, as someone who had to spend a lot of the time in the expo hall, I was like, I kind of love this, like booths are 10 feet apart from each other.
Spacious.
It was okay. So, but yeah, I feel like there's going to be more people.
They're saying registrations at 5K right now.
5K, yeah.
So about double what it was.
Still not like.
I heard 7K.
You heard what?
7K in-person attendees.
Okay, great. Maybe it's gone up. As
Take it.
Registration gets closer to ending. Folks are
We'll
probably funding or whatever. Yeah. So I'll take 7,000 people. I mean, the last in-person one pre-COVID was like 20 or close to 14K. I mean, something like that.
Yeah. So it's still not. Which is
we're not back to pre-pandemic levels.
I will say, KubeCon notwithstanding, I think just generally, even community events that I've seen, about 50% of what you're used to seems to be about what's happening. But I will also say it's been interesting, because coming back, like a lot of the events, it's almost like everybody has this same thing where pre-COVID, we were all like, we want to make them bigger and bigger and bigger. And now we're like, wait, we just did this, and it reminds us of what it was like in the beginning of these events. And boy, that's actually nice. Like, I was at DevOpsDays Denver a couple weeks ago, and they normally would have been up to about 500 or 600, and they had capped it at 250. And everybody, it was super fun event, but the organizers were all like, this felt really good. This was like what it used to be like. This was really, so there's something for that.
I had my first in-person big stage short talk at DevOpsDays Birmingham. it's a complete different experience, and I mean it's obviously a complete different experience, but I was just like, I was so overwhelmed by it. I'm like, oh my god, it's amazing to speak in person. Like, I get so nervous speaking online because I don't see anybody, but if I see the audience, if I see people reacting, it's so much fun, right? Because then you can actually
There's
with them.
Completely different energy.
There's advantages both ways. I mean, there's certainly things, but one of the things that I thought was really funny was, again, going back to in-person talks. So the talk that I've given the last 2 conferences, I've given it a couple times virtually before then. And even then I felt like it was tight on time. Like but it was okay. So I gave this talk at DevOpsDays Raleigh, and then I kind of hit the point. I'm like, oh shoot, I've got 1 minute left and I have 5 more slides. Okay. But part of that is because here's the thing you have to remember: in person, you have to give, well, it depends on your talk, but pause for laughs. You tell jokes. That doesn't happen, right? So then when I gave the talk in Denver, I barely got through half of it because I was getting certain reactions, and it was like, oh, you like that? Okay, I'll do more of that. Right? Like I would tell a bit of a story in talk, and people got a really good reaction. And I hit a point when I was like more than halfway through the time, and I'm like, I'm just at the background part of this talk. I haven't actually gotten to the talk yet. I'm just telling the beginning. So it's it's getting those muscles back is
it's a lot of muscle memory.
Having a good time with it,
right? Like I in particular, right, since I hadn't internationally traveled in so long, like I didn't even have the right adapters for EU, right? Like
works, right? Like somebody posted yesterday that he found out his passport is not longer valid, so he can't come.
Oh no, like all that stuff's good. Like I always make sure that stuff's good just for general purposes. But like I had to go to the Apple store the other day and like buy one of these, just because.
Well, the trick because this is at this point I have decided I don't do any of that, and I have 2 adapters that are the little they have
multi-prong dealios,
the multi-prong, and then they're a plug, like a US plug, and then also various USBs.
Yes, I have one of those now too.
So what I do though, then the other trick is I have a little tiny power strip, like a 4-thing power strip that folds on itself.
That's brilliant.
You plug into that, then you get a bunch more. By the way, those of you who are wondering, this is what like people like DevRel type people, this is what we do when we talk to each other, is we all just talk about our
hacks.
So anyway, so Chris, I will show you this week. I'll show you my
I will totally do this.
It made a huge difference. Also, having a little power strip like that is how you make friends in the airport.
Yep.
Because you're sitting next to there's only one outlet. You plug into that, then other people can plug into it. So okay. So I will tell you, here's the talk. This is, I know we're jumping around. So this is on Friday, and I believe it is right after our talks. No, it's right before.
Let me share the.
It is at 11:55
on Friday.
On Friday, yeah, because our talk is at 1400. So 11:55. It's going to be in the teal color. It's the first talk at 11:50. Oh, there it is.
It's after our talk?
No, it's before.
Yeah, I was like, I'm late on that.
No, go a little earlier. There it is. Annie Telvasto. So what Anime taught me about Kubernetes development and tech career. So number one, Annie is awesome. I love her. But also, what a topic. So sorry for everybody else giving a talk at 11:55 because I don't know how anybody.
This is going to be the one.
Yeah, like every slot, I feel like there's going to be a talk like that because there's so many submissions this year.
Yeah. Well, we were saying, Chris, Anais and I are like at the same time. Yeah,
I know. Right?
At 2 p.m., you go to my talk over here.
And then when the room is so full, you can't get into it because everybody wanted to see it. Then you can come and see me and Whitney talk. But I will say this morning I recorded like my little selfie animated GIF that is going into our talk, and it will be worth it just for that. Because Whitney helps, like
you should tease this on Twitter or something.
I don't see. I'm torn because
like 5 minutes before your talk, you should schedule.
Okay, well that I could do. Yeah,
that you should do. Yeah.
I also really liked. There's a talk. I think it's right after ours in the student track that's from student to SRE, which I thought was a cool story. Oh, I liked running Kubernetes in a manufacturing line. What could possibly go wrong? See, my thing is like I like to watch talks that are like
devastatingly bad,
or not, or even just like
something blew up.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but just like, hey, you know what? Just something different, right? Like, you know, there was another one that was like, I don't know, it wasn't running Kubernetes on Mac, but it was something where you're just like, it's like these edge case things are so interesting to me.
Yeah.
This one was good too. There's one on Thursday towards the end of the day. Which is Xbox Cloud Gaming's story about service mesh.
Speaking of Xbox, several people. So Microsoft is doing like Xbox Live gaming in their booth.
Oh,
so because it runs on Kubernetes, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I think. That's what the talk is. So it's service mesh at scale. How Xbox Cloud Gaming secures 200.
But they're going to have competitions on gaming in their booth.
Oh,
and one of those games is a racing game called Forza, which I've only played like once. But I'm so good at racing games that I'm going to go wipe the floor with all of y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not good at any games. Yeah. But
I really do like Forza a lot. And yeah, I don't know. So if we can maybe, I don't know, Chris, let's go. I
know Christoph Blecker and I are going to go head to head.
Yeah.
At some point.
It reminds me of at a very early DevOps Days Chicago, one of the first ones, our after party was in this like barcade, you know, and Andy, I think it was, I just forgot who. I don't think it was Andy Fleener, but one of the guys from DevOps Days Minneapolis. We were talking about Galaga, and I was like, Galaga's my game, and he's like, so I'm going to challenge you. He's like, I love Galaga, I'm super good at it. He's like, I'm going to challenge you, and I had the game of my life and destroyed him. But I mean, I've never played that well, and it was like the George Costanza, like, go out on a high note. I'm like, I am now retiring from playing Galaga because I will
never be this good again
every time, right? You know.
That's like me in certain racetracks and Gran Turismo. It's like, I am never racing on that track ever again. Anyways, so one thing I recommend for scheduling is names. Like if there's certain people you want to hear talk, search for their name and then just go to their talk. Like that's how I usually do it. Like I find my friends, I find people I want to meet. Like Anais, I'll probably come to your talk. Just because I want to meet you.
Because you know Matty.
Yeah, I already know Matty.
But you
Matty
don't know Whitney. Huh? I'm co-speaking with Whitney Lee. You don't know Whitney.
That's true. I don't know Whitney either. Now you're going to... So here's what I'll do. I'll split it in half.
There you go.
Okay.
The other one here's the other one if you want to talk about like my other like... big conflict one is on what day is that? I can't even remember. Thursday at 2:30 is there's a talk about community managers, which is Nancy Lancaster and Karen Chu.
Oh, that would be
great.
It's
also when Kareem and Julie Gunderson have their talk as well. But to your point, I've seen Julie speak a lot because we used to be DevRels together. So sorry, Julie. I think I'm going to go to Nancy's talk. But...
No, I mean...
I'm also interested in that one. Just because Chain Guard.
Well...
Of course, now we're going to find out that like all of these talks I want to go to is when I'm supposed to be doing booth duty.
That's my problem. Is that
so? That's the thing. If
like
everybody could just come to the what do you call it? Just come to the Pulumi booth right away. And so if we could get like 6,000 scans right away, then we could just close the booth and
just be done with the day.
Right. And then
we're good. All the talks and stuff. We'll just hook up video game consoles in your booth and have at it. Yeah. Like, what is the one thing that you like? One cool thing you're bringing with you that you wouldn't normally think is cool, right? Like, there's got to be something. Like, I'm bringing something. Yeah,
like one cool thing you're bringing.
Yeah, like that you have in your kit that you always bring, kind of thing.
To every
Oh, just in general?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this is the other thing. Sorry, I keep talking about the Pulumi booth, but like I'm going to tell you, we have some real dope swag that we have a small amount of.
You have
and
the
it will
plume.
go fast.
Do you have the platypus?
No, not the platypus, but well, I don't think we have the platypus.
That's a big disappointment now.
This is your clue.
Got it. Okay.
So, Anais, I will hold one for you for sure. So we will
notice he didn't say me.
Yeah, no. you gotta come find me. Actually, now that you mention it, I'm curious if we got the.
See, look, I'm gonna make you do some extra work the day before you fly out or something.
Is this?
I love how many.
Oh no, those are stickers. So we've been trying to get Polomipus stuffies and just making that work, and I just don't. It just hasn't happened at an event yet, but it will.
You've heard of the like you send them a picture and they make a stuffed
animal? No. Oh no.
Right.
The problem is not like how to do it. It's just we just haven't done it. When I say trying, I mean like just haven't done it. No, we have all this. No, all the manufacturing part is understood. Yeah. And as you may or may not have known from Twitter and stuff, we didn't get it in time for KubeCon. Maybe we will have it in time for KubeCon North America, but there will be a Polomipus Fursuit. So,
right?
You know, our mascot is a platypus, the Polomipus. Yeah. So, jokingly, like a year ago, you know, we were talking about how we should get like a fursuit of the Polomipus or whatever, and our boss was like, "Okay," and then he keeps asking about it, and we're like, "We thought you were kidding." He goes, "No, go get one made." You know, so
oh my
which
gosh.
I mean, DevOpsDays Chicago, we have a giant like yak
bull
costume.
Yeah,
it's a yak.
It's a yak.
Yes.
Oh, for yak shaving. That's right.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bull at first because Chicago.
That would actually be, you know,
that would make sense.
Chicago,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
So what is it that you bring, Chris?
I always bring an extra HDMI cable. There's always somebody that's like frantically running around for a cable.
Oh,
I announced ahead of time. I announced ahead of time. I carry 2 for a reason, and like you can keep it. Like if you still need it, go ahead, just keep it.
Oh, yeah. But that does remind me of another pro tip. That's a smart idea. I just bring one because usually, but it's actually I have it so I can plug into my hotel TV, but it means I always have an HDMI cable in my bag. Any adapters or dongles or power things you have or whatever, put an identifying sticker on them.
Good point.
So I put Arrested DevOps stickers on all of them because people will be like, "Oh, let me borrow your clicker, let me borrow your power adapter, let me borrow your dongle," and then that way you know which one is yours. Now you could write on it, but and again, this matters. Like it needs to be a sticker that like don't put like the Kubernetes logo on it or whatever.
Gosh, no.
Like but find something that's yours.
Yeah.
You know, or at least that you'll know that one was yours.
So what else is in your backpack, in your conference backpack, besides a cable?
Clicker, cable. I have a whole like let me grab it real quick. You'll actually
yeah, mine just unpack it. Do like a what's in my backpack haul kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Matty, you don't want to do that right now since you're
well, no, my backpack is up there, but everything is packed because I'm basically getting in the I'm heading to the airport in 15 minutes.
So here's a hack. Buy one of these little dongle things so you can use your thing on the airplane.
So that's an interesting idea. So mine is I have a different setup and I wish I could show you. And everybody yells at me because like, oh, it's so heavy. But I have this one, so it lets you do the long cable that's the grounded plug, but it spools up.
Oh yeah.
Like
I would like that,
but I like it because
for me.
What's that?
It would be too big for my bag, I think.
I'll show you in my bag. Like the backpack I have actually works for everything I have.
Yeah. So this is my personal hero.
I used to like that, and
no, you can't do it.
I had one for years, and it just like it's I did better now. I just have a different bag that has the top of it, like the little my gear bag.
There you
has
go.
like
Nice.
loops that those go in, but then in the bottom it's got bigger pockets, and that's where I put battery packs and my power strip and those adapters.
What are the regulatory things around batteries right now?
Yeah, can you put
Can
them
you put
in?
it
You
in
can't
your
put them
check
in the
bag?
overhead.
You can't put them in the overhead.
That's all. That's been the case for years.
Okay.
Can you put them
And
in
you
your?
can't put them. You can't put them in checked luggage.
No.
Crap.
So you need to put them. You need to put them in whatever goes under your seat.
Yeah.
Now you sit in business first class where everything goes in the overhead, and like obviously nobody checks to make sure you don't put it in the overhead.
Right.
What happens in the overhead?
It's just because they want it so where you can see if it catches on fire.
If it catches on fire, they want to be able to put it out.
Yeah, that's
without
that's why they
dousing
make you
everybody's
take
luggage.
the battery
and
out of
fire
your
extinguisher,
suitcase.
yeah.
Like if you have one of those suitcases with the battery charger, they make you take it out because they know you're going to put it in the overhead.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. So here's my 2 HDMI cables. 1, 2.
smart.
What else?
Neatly packed.
I carry various I have Tums, I have allergy relief stuff, I have Advil, right? Like, and then I have my normal.
But you put those in your backpack, or you just pack them?
I pack them; they're there. But then I have my normal these
So
are all the meds I need to live thing.
Well, right. I was going to say I have in my suitcase, I have half of a medicine cabinet. Although the fun thing is, you're going to Europe where you can go buy stuff that's 10 times as good as we can get over the counter, and you just walk into the chemist and get it. So, but then the same thing, then I have all my tap here to see where to drop off your bag and save time. Except I can't because that came up on my watch.
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm still sitting here waiting to see if they're going to.
Do they give me a clicker as well, or no?
Yeah, that's the one I have. It's kind of overkill.
It is overkill.
We all wanted that one because it has all these features,
but nobody ever uses.
Nobody uses them. Although I do like the haptic on the timer.
Yes.
So on that clicker, what you can do is if you use a timer, it'll buzz you when you're at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll buzz in your hand. Like if you say, "Let me know when I have 5 minutes left" or whatever. But yeah, all the spotlight feature of it, we all used it for a minute. You did it once and then you're like, oh, turns out we don't need to do laser pointers at a conference talk. The other one is you really want the best thing is if you have a Mac, it's it's their AV adapter, the one that gives you USB-A, power through, and HDMI. That's just the only answer.
Yeah. That's in here.
Yeah.
I'm looking for what else. I've got YubiKeys. If you are using YubiKeys at home, don't forget to bring them. You will need them.
Yeah. That's one of those things.
Yeah. But I always have spare everything cable wise because you never know when one's going to break.
Well, I also have a fair number of extra cable because sometimes I just like to leave, I'll plug the stuff in the hotel room and I just want to leave it there.
Right.
I want to be for the next to my bed for my phone and stuff. And, but whatever to charge your
I have,
but also battery packs are really good
because
that conference day is long.
The battery pack, I have 2 battery packs, a massive one that's designed to take on multi-day trips, and then I have a smaller one that I can actually put in this bag and it doesn't kill me. I also bring a hotspot that supposedly works in Europe as well, so I can have my own Wi-Fi and not have to rely on conference Wi-Fi.
That's clever.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, my big change is because I have the same thing. I usually use my big giant battery pack on the plane if I'm not sitting in a very again upgraded seat that's got USB right there, because then I'll just keep my phone plugged into it. But I just bought the little MagSafe to go on the back of mine because I was like, that's what'll get me through a plane ride instead of having to have all the.
Just a battery pack? Okay, yeah.
Just a look, because I was like, you know what? Then I don't have to have it plugged in and the cable draped and everything and blah blah blah. This is totally all. Yeah, this is all about KubeCon.
Another fun thing I bring is this is HDMI for tight spaces. Basically, it makes a L, the 90-degree
that's
turn.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So in case you're like, well, this is really weird setup, I like push this in and then on top and you're done. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to go through like my mental checklist, right? Like, don't forget your medications. If you use an Apple Pencil, don't forget to bring that, right? Like all that fun stuff.
Your driver is arriving in 13 minutes.
You should probably go, Matty.
Well, yeah, because I need to take my dog out, probably.
Yeah. Wait, who's taking care of your dog while you're
so she is going for the weekend. She is going by with my kids with their mom, and then on just through Sunday, and then she's going to the kennel for the rest of the week, which she loves.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's her favorite place. Yeah, when I talk to that, like every time I talk to them, they're like, "Oh my god!" They're like, she doesn't sit still the entire time she's there because she just loves to.
That's awesome.
Someone was like, "Oh, does she know what suitcases mean? Does she get sad because you're leaving?" I'm
My
like,
dog knows what suitcases mean, and she
doesn't know yet. But I don't think she'd get sad. I think she'd get excited because to her, suitcases probably mean I get to go play with puppies. Although I don't know, she's like upset about something. Like,
she's upset that you're leaving, Matt.
Well, she wouldn't play with me last night either. I was kind of annoyed. I was like,
was the bag out?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So
no, the second I break out the bag from the storage closet, the dog
to be fair, it's like she only, I mean, she's only a year old, and most of her only, it's only been a few. I've only gone on a few trips.
True.
So she hasn't learned yet. But
no, my dog has been through all of the travel. So.
But yeah, so I should probably peace out so I can go throw the ball for her a couple times. Before I have to go leave her.
I can stick around or I can jump off. Take your pick.
I think they're in.
Hey, doggo. You're a good looking doggo.
She is pretty good.
She looks a bit sad.
She does. Also, probably because I just woke her up.
Oh, well.
But she's kind of been like this all morning. And she didn't eat. I don't know.
She has tummy pain.
Maybe she knows. Yeah,
she knows.
She knows. It's okay. You're gonna go play with puppies. You're gonna go see your friend Maisie.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. I'll go throw the ball for you. All right. I will see both of you.
KubeCon.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Bye. Have a good flight. Bye. Awesome. So we have one question. If Aman, you want to post your question. Yeah, this was supposed to be more of a Q&A, but there are no questions. So I feel like now that you both talked, I feel very unprepared for all of this.
No, like that's the best part. Go in unprepared. Go in unprepared. And like your schedule will make itself, I promise, right? Like last KubeCon, I made nothing in Sketch and I was busy the whole time. Right.
How did you know where people are? That's like my main worry that I just walk around completing this content. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so lost. I don't know where people are. I don't know how to find anybody.
So like if it's after hours, for example, search, I'm dropping them in the private chat since I can't comment directly, but there's two tags to search for. KubeCon, the actual conference tag, and then KubeCon, like the Star Trek con, is a series of get-togethers put on, like myself or Kim McMahon or somebody else. They will do, quote, KubeCon or Valerie Lancy. We originally did this at Seattle, and it was just like, we said, okay, pick a hotel bar that's big enough to hold most of the community as they rotate through. And we said, all right, this is KubeCon, the after party kind of thing. And that actually, like, it actually happened every night of the conference, that conference. Wow. But this time, because it's Valencia and it's so spread out, there's going to be multiples because like I'll be at one hotel, somebody else will be at another hotel. So if you search for those two hashtags, you won't be alone, especially after hours, because I'll be tweeting wherever I'm hanging out at. Most folks do, if they're comfortable doing that. They will tweet out, hey, I'm with a group of friends, and they'll use one of the two tags for the conference.
So you're traveling tomorrow?
I am flying out tomorrow evening. I will sleep. Hopefully, I have never slept on a plane. Hopefully, I'll sleep on this plane. I take meds to help me sleep, And I've never done that on a plane before, and this is going to be the first time. So I'm hoping nobody messes with me while I'm like drugged out and asleep.
I've somehow managed to train my body to whenever the plane starts, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to pass out, and at any
You're lucky.
time, I'm going to wake up. But it happens at every single flight, no matter how long or short the flight is. So sometimes I wake up when we land. Sometimes I wake up in the middle. But I always fall asleep because I don't know. I just like the starting. So I prefer being asleep. But yeah, you get neck pain from it.
Yeah. So funnily enough, I have some interesting anxiety about coming home because the last time I came home from an international trip was through Detroit. I didn't live here at the time. I lived in Florida, and I was coming back from a war, and I was by myself, and immigration was like, how do I know you're not like deserting? And I just went off because I had been in a war zone for a year, and I just lost it. Absolutely lost it on this lady. It was just like, wow, I really need to, and like everything was fine. Like TSA came over, they started carrying my bags for me and everything, but like I still have that like memory in the back of my head, like, can I get back in? And with the COVID stuff and everything else, like we have to have a test. Like we have to show people a test that we're not COVID positive or whatever to get back in the US. It's annoying.
Yeah, I remember when I moved to the UK last summer, I had to quarantine for 10 days. So like I was by myself. I had to quarantine. That was tough. Because you're really not allowed to leave your house. Right?
Yeah.
So, and then you're stuck in an apartment and you're like, what are you doing now?
I reached the end of the internet. Now what?
Well, I don't even have internet. Like it took some days to install it. So that was like the additional thing of like, you need your SIM card, you need internet, you're stuck. I'm glad actually that there are no more PCR tests, like that it's clear now that you don't, I don't know if you need them, but I don't need them.
So I need one to get back to the US, but going to the conference itself, you'll need one of the apps that they recommend on the website.
Yeah.
Make sure you do that every day.
I bought that.
Check.
Yeah. Okay. That was
so
another fun thing. Like my third vaccine is not registered.
Oh no, you need that.
It's on a piece of paper. No, I have it on a piece of paper because Germany likes paper, so they give me a piece of paper. So I'm carrying this piece of paper everywhere.
Same in the US. We love paper. Like you're given a card at birth that you're supposed to keep for your entire life, and it's paper. And it's not just paper. It's the thinnest possible paper that you could ever buy. And like, you have to keep this the rest of your life.
Yeah. It's in Germany, you get like a vaccine booklet. Everybody has a yellow vaccine booklet.
I used to have one of those, yeah.
You have that, like forever. And you're not supposed to lose it.
You're not supposed to lose it. Yeah, I lost mine years ago. Trust me, I have vaccines for stuff I've never even heard of before, and I've lost that book, and I'm sad.
No, nobody will ever know what you're vaccinated.
Yellow fever, typhoid, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
This got kind of like on a different direction, but to bring it back, we have a question. Yes. How get students today I can't read for some reason. How can a student get the maximum benefit from KubeCon? I'm a freshman here and got scholarship for the virtual one. That's amazing. Congratulations for getting the scholarship.
That's awesome.
How can you get the best out of it? I think it's similar to the in-person one of like at least that's what I did with my virtual ones. I planned the talks like to kind of know where do I want to be. Like I like to know what to expect and what to do. So so looking at the talks, maybe what else? Also sign up. Oh, something I didn't do at my first KubeCon. I didn't know that there are Slack channels where people talk.
Yes, there's a hallway Slack channel too.
I had no idea people were talking on Slack. I was like, where's this hallway track? This virtual one, where are people talking? What are people talking about? And then I realized you can join the CNCF Slack, and they're specific. How do you call those channels? Hallway track channels? No.
So each KubeCon CNCF on the CNCF Slack, not the Kubernetes Slack. There is a distinction between the two.
Yeah.
The CNCF Slack creates rooms for literally every day zero event, every vendor, every sponsor, everybody. They create all these rooms, and they'll have like a number in front of them, and that number's significant to CNCF, not you. But it'll tell you everything, like what's going on in that sort of like AWS will have our own chat room, and then Hallway will have its own chat room. And so just make sure you're in the 2 Slack channels, both Kubernetes and CNCF, because there will be, and also follow many people on Twitter. Yes, I have a good Twitter list of cloud natives. So if you go to my Twitter account, Chris Short, it's right there on screen.
You have a list of cloud native folks.
Yeah, like there's a whole list of cloud native folks.
And I'm part of the list.
You are on the list. Actually, I think you're on a few of my lists.
Okay.
I have a lot of lists just to keep like thoughts organized, right? Like topics kind of thing. So, don't get notification overload. I just go look at a list. But yeah, I think you might even be on like the Axis of Awesome list, to be honest. Yes.
Awesome list.
Awesome people I put on their own list.
Awesome people list.
Mm-hmm.
It's always start lists. I start new lists. I have so many lists that I don't maintain anymore.
It's okay. You'll be fine.
It's like one of those things. I'm a very disorganized person. Whenever I start, but it's not. It's other people perceive me as disorganized. I think I'm very organized for what I need to be organized for. But whenever I do things like making lists, I end up or like Kanban boards.
Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of have a discipline about it. Yep.
Yeah, that's something that I'm not there. It's just
so. Here's where you are right now. Here's where you're checked. Axis of Awesome, Systems, DevOps, SRE, and Devs, Devrelians, and Cloud Natives. You're not in there, and you are now. Okay, save. There you go. Merry Christmas.
I think that's something actually that I tell people, like, I mean, especially in pointing it out, like when conference organizers have problems finding diverse speakers, that's what I tell them to do, to look at other people's lists, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I subscribe to a list of awesome women in tech.
Exactly. You go to that person's list. Like, for example, look at my list. I have a women in tech list as well, and like also some other lists with like I put a focus on trying to get diverse people on those lists, right? And yeah, so looking at people's lists is one of those things to contact more diverse speakers, for example. Or like this one.
Yep. Let's see what other I follow. Jobs. If people are looking for jobs, this is the best place to do it, right? Like if you're at KubeCon virtually, here's what I recommend you do.
To look for jobs.
Yeah, to look for a job, go to the sponsors page for the event. Yeah. Start at the bottom and work your way up the list. Those sponsors need people that know Kubernetes or can learn Kubernetes and other things, right? Like if you got the basics down, you're pretty much going to get hired these days for Kubernetes skills. So look at that sponsor list and go to their jobs pages and, find a product fit that works for you and, make sure you want to be doing and working at that company. But that is the best place to look for jobs, is that sponsor list.
That's a great tip. Alistair, you can look at this, you can follow the tip to get a job to come to KubeCon.
There you go, right? Like I originally didn't have a job that would send me to KubeCon normally, and then I got one. So yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah. So I just went through the sponsor list and I was like, oh yeah, Red Hat. I've always wanted to work at Red Hat. Done. But like even the day zeros have sponsors. So like GitOpsCon, for example, which I'm helping run because I'm a GitOps Open GitOps co-chair. So like we have Weaveworks and Mattermost and Upbound and CodeFresh and AWS and Red Hat, right? Like if you're into GitOps, those companies are definitely hiring. I have 2 open DA slots on my team. I have some tech writer slots open on my team. So come talk to me if you want to, I mean, trust me, you can do all kinds of networking if you're looking for a job. You'll have so many leads leaving here.
Alistair has a job, just to clarify, but he doesn't have a job that can send him to KubeCon because he doesn't send himself to KubeCon.
Yeah, no, sending yourself to KubeCon is expensive. I did that my first
I
time.
wouldn't do that.
Well, I actually,
You did that?
I leaned a little on the CNCF. I had just just left a job deal had just fallen through, and it was like KubeCon was like the week after Thanksgiving or something. And like the people that were going to hire me told me Wednesday afternoon before Thanksgiving here in the US, which is like a 4-day weekend, that I wasn't getting the job. So it's like, oh, thanks. Now what? Go to KubeCon. That was the following week. I went. Thankfully, all I had to do was pay for the plane ticket, which I used with miles. CNCF covered the rest with their sponsorships.
Oh, that's
It was
great.
really great. And that's how I got involved in the community. I met George Castro there. George Castro and I both live in Michigan. We're like 45 minutes from each other. He's like, you should sign up to be a CNCF ambassador. And like, I was like, okay, fine. And like, he had to go run off and do something. I was sitting at the bar. I was like, well, let me just go ahead and fill out this form. And then like literally January came around and like, oh, congratulations, you're an ambassador.
Wow.
It was like, wow, this is how it all starts. This is awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love these stories. I feel like I want to have live streams where just people tell me how they got started.
That's a great idea.
Or how
I might steal that idea because I need to do some more live streaming.
Oh no! Wait a minute. We could co-host.
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun.
That might be fun, yeah. Internships. Well, internships, I realized actually a lot of internships are not on the hiring websites, but a lot of times they would be looking for interns. Like I know, for example, Aqua has a lot of like Israel.
Red Hat, all of them have interns.
A lot of high school graduate opportunities and programs that are not on the website because they promote it in person. But if you reach out to them, like out to different companies directly, and you're like, a lot of times they have like either the details of a hiring manager on the website, on the hiring site, or you can look like similar to how people look for you on LinkedIn, you can look for people on LinkedIn. Right?
I have no problem putting in words for people, right? Like if you need a job and we know each other from the community or something, right? Like I can go find the hiring manager at company A, B, or C, right? Like leverage the people in the community. It's not just you out there. There's a whole community of people that are either A, have been in your shoes or going to be in your shoes at some point.
Yeah. Also, it's for companies, it's really beneficial to offer internships because that can get them later on people who know Kubernetes.
Yeah, it's like, what was it? Last summer, I had an intern when I was at Red Hat doing all the live streaming. And we literally hired the intern because of his like movie making skills. Like he wants to be a movie maker. And so giving him the experience of working in the tech industry gave him a lot of like insight into, some of the technical problems that he didn't realize were technical problems. Right.
Wow.
Like he was like, oh, that's totally normal. That's like, no, this is really annoying, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's I feel like, yeah, that's actually a good idea. I feel like I could benefit from somebody who's helping me with my videos.
I learned a lot like from my intern, and I was very, very happy that I decided not to go like down the technical person route, but down the outside of tech route. And that was super, super beneficial. So don't be afraid. Like if you're a Linux sysadmin or you're a Windows sysadmin, don't be afraid to like, if you just go through some basic Kubernetes courses or you go get your CKA or whatever, don't be afraid to apply for every job that says Kubernetes. Because remember, only you need only like half the stuff that's actually in the job description to get hired.
A lot of it is learning it on the go, right? Like that's ultimately what a lot of people do in this space. It's just jump into it.
Yep. You kind of have to. Yeah. You get a little experience, you build a cluster yourself, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this anywhere now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's something that you don't realize until it happens to you, that you don't need that much experience to apply.
No, you don't. And like
you don't have that experience because it's such a new technology.
Right. And it's funny. I work with other tech writers that are on my DA team, and one of my tech writers pulled me in for some of the Docker shim removal work. He was like, listen, I can write all I want. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't actually work the way I write it, I'm in trouble. I need your help.
Yeah.
So he had me come in to help with, like, we had documentation on like how to stand up a Kubernetes cluster with cryo and like this was all in the docs and using Docker and all this other stuff. And like, we need to fix this. So like I had to spin up all these kind of bespoke configurations of Kubernetes. And like, I'm going through this and I'm like, I had no idea I could do all this.
Wow.
It's like this random configuration of stuff. It's because I know Kubernetes APIs, I know the CRI, I know the CNI, and it's just like mash it all together and off I go, right? Like,
that's amazing.
I didn't even know I knew half the stuff I knew, right? Like that's when it gets interesting. Like I always find benefit in working with people from different disciplines, and that SIG docs Docker Shim like side group that we created to handle all that work. I mean, hundreds of PRs. Think about how much Docker is mentioned in the Kubernetes docs.
A lot?
A lot. Especially Docker Shim. Actually, yes, our instructions to go get Containerd still mention docker.io. Go get it from there, not the Containerd website. Yeah, that's how old some of the stuff is. Yeah. So having to update all of that and get it all done before the 124 release was an enormous amount of work, but it all had to actually work too, right? Like we couldn't go off of assumptions that this thing would work the way we thought, because if we didn't test it, we didn't know what other issues there might be. So I was literally 1 week, there's a server in my closet over here to my left. I was literally just like, cluster, here you go. You're going to have this CRI and this run, you know, all this other fun configuration just to make sure that the docs are right with the new.
When you, elite shadow, how do you call it?
Well, like I just got pulled in, right? Like,
you just got pulled in.
You know, people were like, Chris Short is on my team. He knows Kubernetes and, you know,
he knows how to help.
He can help. And basically somebody just put out a call for help. That, you know, they just needed more technical people on this team. And I was like, well, I can help. You know, like, this sounds kind of fun, actually. Let's go yank Docker Shim out of everything and see what happens. And yeah, it was a super fun learning experience. And there's always stuff like that going on in the community, right? Like, always.
Sometimes, like, people tell me in the space, friends in the space tell me, like, oh, I'm working on this, or like, I'm involved in that working group. And I'm like, how do you know about that? And it's a lot of times I feel like it's just talking to people, and then they will mention it, and then you can get involved, or different things. You have to talk with people.
If you're at KubeCon, there is a SIG meet and greet on Friday. So you can go in, like, SIG meet and greets. These are like literally, it's like speed dating for SIGs, basically, right? Like if you're like, I'm interested in doing this kind of work, you just go down and sit with people. You know, they're from the SIG. They have experience working in the SIG. Oftentimes it's the SIG leads or co-chairs or whatever. And they'll tell you everything about the SIG, how to get involved, where to get started, all that fun stuff. I actually ran one with Guinevere Sanger the first time I was like participating in a contributor summit. And it was like, I met so many people just by standing by the door and telling them which table, which SIG was at. I met so many people throughout the community just by doing that, right? Like I just said, y'all need help, and chipped in, you know, that's it. And met a lot of people that way. It was really cool.
I should find out where everything is and then tell people.
Here's the thing. I mentioned this before. The venue is big. The venue is huge, multiple levels. We don't take up the whole thing. So there's all these other little spaces that all this other stuff's going on. There'll be business meetings and all this fun stuff. But there's plenty of rooms and spaces for everything and everybody to kind of, even ad hoc. I know Caslin Fields and I are going to sit down and work on some stuff related to feature blog releases and promoting those on social media. And then I'm sitting down with somebody else to work on.
How do you find them on the venue? Will you just be like, I'm at the
I'll just Slack them or DM them on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, that's it. Well, 9 times out of 10, like the contributor summit's on Monday, so I know I'll see people there. I know that I'll see people at the booth, right? I'll swing by booths to go see other people and that kind of thing. And yeah, like finding people online, sometimes just go ask, like, where are you hanging out? And Like, I have no problem fielding DMs from people. Like, where are you hanging out? That's fine.
It would
like, feel
be
free.
nice to have something like. Now, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about if I say that, and I'm sorry if that's the case. But so the last time I used Snapchat was like 4 years ago, probably. Like years ago.
Long time. Yeah.
I don't know if it's still used. I don't know who uses it, but it's a long time ago.
It's still very popular in a niche kind of way. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have it. I just want to point out I don't have it on my phone anymore. But why I'm pointing it out is because I left it because they introduced a feature where you could see where people are in the city. Like you could literally, you had the map of the city, and you could, first of all, people could make their stories public. So you could, for example, see hubs of like where an event would happen. You would see lots of stories pop up, and you would be like, oh, you maybe want to go to that area because there's something exciting happening or something, right? But the other thing is that you would only see people, I think, if you would allow them to see you in the city.
Yeah.
So you literally see of your friends which just sit at home all day, things like that, which is very toxic. That's why I left. But for example, like a conference, to allow specific people, right, to have like a map of the conference and to allow specific people of like, I'm gonna be here, right, or like to kind of see where you are at the conference, right?
Yeah,
that would be interesting. But
we have this thing called Twitter, and I just tell people where I am.
I don't have a good sense of orientation, so I will literally walk around and be like, I don't know where I am.
Okay, just follow me and you'll be fine. I've never steered anybody wrong, I promise. At least at a conference. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like, it is big. It is overwhelming to first timers. So don't feel sad to, or bad about reaching out to somebody that's been before, just to handle the depth and breadth of it all. It's a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Last thing, and I don't want to keep you for too much longer, but people have been asking about your setup, and I wonder about your camera and everything. So do you have a blog maybe with your setup?
I do. You are in luck. It's from last year, but not much has changed.
Can you show us your background? Like, there's a TV, right? With and then it's a laptop. Oh, I thought it's like one of those light up signs, one of those expensive ones, but it's a laptop.
Nope.
It's smart.
When I first joined, I put that up behind me, and someone was like, "Where did you get the neon light?"
Yeah, that's what I thought right now. Exactly. Wow.
Yeah. So behind me, this is the computer that stores all the family photos and backs them up to the cloud, like in 17 different ways. So never gonna lose those photos. It also acts as like a server for various functions in the house. That's my personal laptop there. And then over here is my Linux boxes that I use on a regular basis because I'm on a Mac right now, but by trade, I'm a Linux admin. So I usually use those boxes for things.
Okay.
And this is all just for work stuff. But yeah, like I'll just throw up the fireplace because, it's cold up here in the,
That's actually so.
So I dropped a link in the private chat there. You can share it with the audience if you want. But yeah, the camera setup, everything, not much has changed. I went through a stint of breaking mic arms. Like I literally broke 6 mic arms in a month.
No.
Dead serious. I had so many returns to Amazon, like for defective equipment.
Which one do you have now?
I have a Heel PL2T. Yeah. It even says it right there. But it has not broken on me yet, and I'm very happy. I don't know if I was just too aggressive or applying too much torque or what, but this thing's perfect. I even get into like the extension cords that I'm using and the desk hooks and anti-fatigue mats and everything. Yeah. So I could update this because some minor stuff has changed here and there, but yeah. The biggest thing is the camera, right? Like that was expensive to buy the lens. But
which camera is it?
I have a very old Sony A6000. I bought the body used, but I didn't want to buy a used lens because that could be sketchy, Yeah. So basically buying the lens cost more than the actual camera itself, which was whatever. But it looks really good, and it's going to last me a long time, and it's worked in 3 different offices in this house now, so I'm very happy about it.
It does look very good. Maybe I should change something of my setting. I don't know. I just
I think your image is fine, but yeah, I mean, there's, you know,
can always be better.
But you can always spin yourself into oblivion too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining last minute.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
This chat and then coming on. I hope you have really safe travel tomorrow. And
thank you. You have safe travels as well. Everybody, stay safe out there. Reach out to me on Twitter if you're in Valencia and don't have a place to go. Let me know. I'll be taking it easier than normal, but I'll still be out like until, you know, normal evening-ish. I actually have to write a forward to a book for a friend, so yeah. So I do have work to do. I'm
not sure how many books I should bring. How many books? Probably just one, but
yeah.
Like how much time there is for, like, you know, evening. I don't know, like,
so
reading a book.
I mean, yeah, like I bring my Kindle. Like I try to maintain as normal to home a schedule as I can, right? Like I get it. These are my friends. A lot of them are going to be all in one place at one time, but you'll usually find me back in the bedroom by like 10 o'clock, right? Like I'll be back in my hotel room, just like home, sitting there reading. What am I reading right now? I'm reading Barack Obama's book, his new book, Super Enlightening. Because I served under him when I was in the military, so it's like giving me some background on stuff I didn't realize was happening at the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I made a like promise to myself that all the people I served under, I would read books they wrote.
Wow.
Obviously, like Rumsfeld book, I didn't bother reading, but you know, like a bunch of other people's books, yes, I did read. So yeah, if there's anything you do after this talk, go join those Slack channels and find the hallway tracks, find the channels of the vendors and the 0 days you want to talk to, and just go from there.
And look at your lists.
Look at my lists. Yes, there's plenty of people on those lists.
In the chat. Here, I didn't post that yet. The lists. Chris Chart lists. Awesome. Great. I feel like I should catch up on sleep before KubeCon, which I'm going to do. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody who joined in the chat and got involved. That's great. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Really helpful for me as well to know that I should bring an HDMI cable. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.